Good morning. You're listening to your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I am attorney Wade Skalsky, and this is Wade Beyond the Courtroom, where law and culture meet. Today, we're going to have the family edition of Wade Beyond the Courtroom. But before we get into that, Mike is on the board. Mike, how are you doing today?
It's raining outside.
Raining is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in drought, except for we're either in drought or in mudslides. Did you hear the 5 is basically closed down due to mudslides north of us? So
that is the weirdest thing, because I work in the valley during the week. And that day that all happened, it was like so nice outside.
Yeah,
If I hadn't watched TV, I wouldn't know this was going on up there.
Nobody wants to go north of Valencia anyways. This is where all the excitement is here. You just stop here. Don't worry about San Francisco. You don't worry about Washington State. You certainly don't worry about Canada. You just stop right here.
I'm glad to hear you're not a stick in the mud.
Oh man, that's terrible. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the family edition, and we're going to start it off with a little story about a case.
We'll explain the jokes if we need to.
All right.
Okay. Oh, and if that voice that you guys are hearing, I actually have my twin brother today in studio. Let's say hi to him. Todd Skalsky, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. And I see that you are, although we are twins, you have a full beard and a full head of hair, which I find both amusing and annoying all at the same time. So you look very mountain man today.
Thank you.
Good. So we're going to talk about the family issue. Before Todd and I start regaling everyone with stories of our youth and excitement, I want to talk about how family and the law sometimes can go together. So there's this case where this aunt sued her nephew on his 8-year-old or sued his nephew because on his 8th birthday at the party, he hugged her too hard and injured her wrist. Okay? Now, this loving aunt, actually took the case to trial, and 4 years later, a 6-person jury panel determined that she did not suffer a good injury because they were not won over about her testimony about the difficulties of handling hors d'oeuvres at parties with a broken wrist. So the thing is that the boy is now 12, so it took 4 years from the time that this injury occurred at this 8-year-old birthday party and until the case actually went to jury trial. So think about how the relationship between the aunt and the kid's parents was going during that 4-year time, because that's your sister. That'd be like if I had kids or something and you were suing my kid, I'd be mad at you.
Yeah, I'd be mad too.
It brings to mind to me a story of where my brother broke my cousin's ankle at Thanksgiving, roughhousing too hard.
I think there's a statute on that.
That's right.
Yeah.
But that was, what year was that?
Bad football pass.
What year did you break Brandon Skalsky's ankle at Thanksgiving, Todd?
It had to be a good 7-10 years ago.
All right, so you're probably okay.
Pull that mic up to you.
Oh,
there you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
You're probably okay for that. So
Yeah, he forgave me.
yeah. So
It was a fair play.
Todd didn't know he was going to be ambushed about his breaking our cousin's ankle. I just remembered it actually, so families do weird things and then they can get themselves in legal trouble. So here's another instance. Okay, there's this incident in South Carolina of a public shaming where this mother was so confounded with her child that she shaved her son's head, wrote the word bad on it, and paraded her son around a Walmart in women's clothing in South Carolina because he wasn't doing what she wanted to do. And the Department of Children's Services starts getting involved in that. So
that's a little...
Yeah. So our parents, although they never publicly shamed us, I think they made us like deliver papers, which was I think was a public shaming of some sort.
Now they have you wear
T-shirts.
T-shirts.
Early.
Right.
The T-shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
Good thing.
My aunt hugged me too hard.
Well, no, he hugged the aunt. The 8-year-old hugged the aunt too hard, and she got hurt.
Ooh.
So that's the story. So she must have been it's either a very strong 8-year-old or a very frail aunt. But I don't know. If you can't serve hors d'oeuvres at a party with your wrist. But anyway, so the reason why that's important basically is that just because you were a family member with someone does not necessarily mean that things are, the law is not going to get involved, right? Sometimes this happens when, and I'm thinking about, so Todd, you, let's talk a little bit about you. You've had a lot of very different types of work. Right now you do a lot of real estate, right?
That's right.
Okay. So you have some rental properties and actually you participate like with certain members of the family, you guys kind of work together on some of the properties, and some of them you don't, or you used to, or I don't. What's the deal on that exactly?
My dad and I worked on real estate
Our
together.
dad. Oh, yes, exactly.
That's right.
I couldn't remember.
So-
No. Anyway, so luckily that was all good. But like, what's interesting is sometimes, and this never happened. Everyone's great. Everyone's happy. Your real estate's doing a great job. But sometimes families that go into business together can actually sue each other. And so where there's not expectation. So one thing that we always say is you want to make sure if you're going to go into a business with a family member, you make sure that you draw everything up. So like Todd, if you and I were to go into business and say we were going to do you used to be a personal trainer, right?
That's right.
Okay. And so if we're going to open up a gym, right, together, which wouldn't happen because Todd is in very good shape and I am what they call not in so good shape. But if we were to do that, let's say, we'd want to draw it up and make sure everyone was really clear on what was going to happen, right?
That's right.
Okay. So talk to me a little bit about your experience in real estate and sort of are there any legalities that you have to worry about? Because you do use corporations for that stuff, right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
And in your experience as a businessman, why do you do that?
After being a personal trainer, went and got my MBA, and so entrepreneur with my father. And one of the most important things you can do when you do that is you need to start a corporation. And so the reason why you want to start a corporation is because you want a separate entity, separate from your personal life. And that's exactly what Dad and I did. So we started an LLC together, which was a partnership. And one thing you want to do is you want to have an entry and exit plan, so you don't get into legal trouble. So you want to set expectations down about like how profits going to be distributed into the business, or how you're going to distribute profits between yourselves.
Right.
And then also a big deal is also vision of the business, like where you want the vision to go.
Well, I'm really excited to kind of unpack some of those issues about family and the law, and actually maybe bring up some more embarrassing details about my twin brother when we come back from the break. You're listening to your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. Welcome back. You're listening to your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. I am attorney Wade Skalsky, and this is Wade Beyond the Courtroom. Today we're having a family edition. I have another kind of family story for you if you guys would like to hear it before we get back into the family business corporations talk.
Go right ahead.
All right,
Wade.
thanks.
Sure.
So there's this person, this lady who her name is Robin Crawford, and she's like the Doogie Howser of lawyers. So she wanted to become a lawyer when she was 14. But she became a lawyer at 20. So I want you to realize what had happened for that to happen. So she had to graduate from high school early. She had to do like a equivalent of a 4-year college degree, right? And then she had to do 3 years of law school. So we're talking 7 years. So she must have started when she was like 13, like graduated from high school when she was 13, and now she's a prosecutor in Florida as a 20-year-old.
Jeez.
Now, I know. Now, Todd, when you and I were 20, at the same age, because we're twins, of course, do you think that I was emotionally prepared to be a prosecutor and judge other people in terms of determining how much jail time they get?
I'm going to say actually, yes.
You think so?
I think so.
We were at the University of Arizona together, and you remember that time, and you think so. And I was looking at this, and I was thinking, I was like, I'm a criminal defense attorney, and if I walk in a courtroom, there's a 20-year-old there, and they're in the prosecutor, I was like, this is not good, because this person doesn't have the life experience to be able to. I mean, did you know it was our birthday yesterday, Mike?
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes. Todd is 6 minutes older, so what he does effectively is he will have an experience, and then he will say to me 6 minutes later, what?
But I'm going to tell you how much more about life I know than you.
That's right, and that's 6 minutes. So he has 6 minutes experience on. But anyway, so I just find that interesting. So this is kind of the flip side of this parents, I'm sure, were driving this young lady to go be, and she wanted to do it, and so she decided, what she said to herself, I'm just going to totally skip all of my social experience in high school. I'm going to skip all of my social experience in law school and college. It's not that important that 11 years, and I'm just going to go right into the workforce. That seems like a great idea.
That's a lot of focus.
It is.
I mean, yeah.
It's a lot of focus, but that's all it is focus.
And then that being said, I mean, is she respected in the legal community?
Look, I'm sure she's very smart, and I would.
Here's this young kid. Oh, how cute! She's 20. Okay, great.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think that there would be problems in terms of. Look, I was a prosecutor when I was 25.
Okay.
So, but that 5 years, I think, makes a big difference. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just being kind of an old curmudgeon. It's possible.
Maybe you're jealous.
Yeah,
Because you
that
were an
too.
attorney at 20.
No, I was like with the University of Arizona
There
with
you
my,
go.
with my brother. So, well, wait, were you at NAU then?
I was at NAU.
NAU. And unfortunately, did you see that
And then
NAU had
transferred to U of A.
NAU had a shooting, a school shooting?
I did.
Yeah. So
did see that.
That's anyways. Okay. So let's get back to the topic about when you family and the law. Okay. So now, Todd, we were talking about if you were to and I like to use you as an example for anyone that's thinking about going into a business venture with a family member. I think you said something very smart. Is that you wanted to have an exit plan and a beginning plan, and that's just because then you don't really want to end up in court with your dad, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
so
right.
not that our dad would
The
ever
last thing
not that our dad would
you'd
ever
want.
sue us. I don't think.
No.
He might have a stern word or two for us.
He would have a certain word.
He might shave your head and write the word "bad" on it in reference to that beard that you've got going on right now, but and parade you around in a Walmart. But okay, so now did you? In terms of also, let's talk about the corporation for a little bit. So obviously, our father's older. He's retired, and so he's worked really hard his whole life, and so he has some assets. And what we don't want to have happen is, let's say that the business goes bad because you don't control the universe, and sometimes a rental property, let's say it was to burn down, or there was to be one of the renters was to get injured or something, and then sued you. You don't want him to be able to go after our father's personal assets.
That's right.
Right. And that's the sort of the shield that a corporation provides. So there's a lot of peace of mind there because no one plans for bad things to happen, but we all know that they do. And sometimes things happen beyond all our control. I think another thing that we were talking about off the break a little bit before is also you want to make sure all your insurances are in line as well, because in that situation, then, you're covered. We've got our legal protection. We've got the insurance handled for this business venture. And then you can focus on, all right, how do we make these rental properties work? Do we get another one? What do we do? So what are some of the things that you learn kind of from working with a family member versus some of your other business ventures of working with, non-family members? Is there a difference, or is some of the things kind of the same?
I think there's definitely a difference. I think one of the biggest things I learned was you can't assume, even with a family member, what you think the other person wants. Communication is a big thing. You think even with your own father, what his expectations are. And then down the line, it's just not the case. So a lot of talking is very important with a partner, that you are on the same page.
Right.
With what you're doing or how you're investing.
And I think that's such a great, insightful way to look at it, Todd, because obviously we've known our father our whole life, and we think we kind of know sort of what his expectations may be or may not be. And if there's a little bit of confusion with an old family member, just think about the confusion with someone that you may have been only known as a business partner for a year or for two. So I think that in business and anything that you're going to do, that the communication is critical, and that we always realize there's a good one of my business coaches always says that the responsibility for communication relies upon the communicator. Meaning, if someone doesn't understand what you're saying, it's not their fault, it's your fault, because you have to make sure that you express it to them in a way that they can hear you. Because we all have different learning styles. Some people, they learn visually, some people, they learn auditorily. So I think that's a really insightful piece of information to share with us, Todd, because like I said, even you and I think, we're twins, and people always talk about how, twins, obviously, they know everything, but we have communication breakdowns sometimes where I'm like, oh, well, Todd obviously thinks this, and then, and he doesn't, or Todd will be like, oh, Wade obviously thinks this, and then obviously I'm like, no, I'm questioning that beard choice that you have right now.
And then at the end of the day, you say, Wade is right. No.
Well, you only say that. Yes, you only say that in Wade Beyond the Courtroom when you're in our little environment here. So that's great. And so So now let's move off a little bit from the rentals and stuff like that. You've also done sales as well. Like, you're an excellent salesman. I have to brag about my brother here a little bit. Nice. He used to work, we won't say the name of the company, but he used to work for a large computer company selling computer systems to businesses, and he was the number one salesperson in his class repeatedly.
Was it Apple?
No, no, it was not Apple. No,
was it Commodore?
No, yes, it was. It was Atari. He sold the most Atari 2600s that you have ever seen. So, what did you take from that experience, and why were you so good at sales, man? I mean, that's something on this family version of Wade Beyond the Courtroom. I got you now. I want to know what was your secret?
It's funny, again, going back, it's actually listening. Listening is a big thing in sales. If you listen to somebody and try not to push something, in my opinion, you'll be able to sell all day long. It's like it's when you're pushing something on somebody is when they shut down. But if you listen to them and sort of solve their problem, you can make sales all day.
Do they really need it?
You know?
The need thing, yeah.
Exactly.
I'm sorry,
Exactly.
Todd. What could you repeat all of that? I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry. So when we come back from the court or come back from the break on
Courtroom?
this courtroom,
Really? Is that what it is
We're
now?
going to go sue each other in court right now. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk a little bit more with my twin brother on this version of your hometown station's AM 1220 KHTS Wade Beyond the Courtroom. Welcome back. You're listening to your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. I am attorney Wade Skalsky, and this is Wade Beyond the Courtroom. So on this family version of Wade Beyond the Courtroom today, I think after we're done, we're going to take a selfie to commemorate it. We don't do a lot of selfies because they're dangerous. Did you know that 12 people have died as a result of taking selfies last year, Mike? Did you know that?
Do you want to mention the Russian one?
My favorite one, yes. My favorite one is that 2 Russian men were killed while taking a selfie with a hand grenade.
I mean...
So why do I feel like, we're Russian. We are of Russian descent. And let's try to avoid accidentally dying in a selfie accident with a hand grenade, Todd.
I'm with you on that.
All right,
I'm
perfect.
with you on that.
So, all right, well, we only have a little bit of time here before we kind of close up. Is there anything you want to talk about briefly, or you want me to just keep peppering you with more questions or more stories about your embarrassing youth?
Peppering.
And how you're a disappointment to the whole family. How do you feel about that? No, I'm just joking. He's the favorite of the whole family. The whole family loves him. So
That's called the wrap up.
That's
all.
good.
Then you got nowhere to go because they're out of time, right? Yeah.
No, he's
brotherly
actually,
jab.
He's the good one. Everyone loves him in our family, and I think one reason why our family really loves my brother so much, extended family, everyone, and really anyone that meets him, is because what he was talking about during the show when he said that he just listens to people, and he's always been an excellent listener. I think that's very rare because unlike me, who I talk a lot with my own talk show on the radio, yes,
not you.
I like to talk. I find that perhaps people respond better when they are listened to, and that's probably something I can learn from my brother. So that is something I have reminded of and learned from you today, Todd. Thank you for that.
Oh, well, absolutely. I think you're a good listener, too, as well.
I'm sorry. What?
Right?
What'd you say?
I'll say it again. I think you're a good listener.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Well, I
Okay.
think attorneys are good listeners.
I think
you
so.
got it.
Absolutely.
We
Of
can
course.
be. Yes. I'm learning to be a better listener.
You're teachable.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess I am moderately.
I mean, you didn't start when you were 20, obviously, but
Thank you for
Yeah.
that, Mike. Yes, that's why I'm the embarrassment of the family. Is I was only an attorney in the normal course when I was 25.
this is my brother. He's incorporated.
Yes, exactly. They're like, "Why are you not an attorney yet? You're only 21 years old." I was like,
She did it at 20.
Yeah.
She did it at 20.
Outstanding. Yeah.
You always remember that now.
We should have her on.
We should. Can you do that? Can you
Give me a name. I'll get her.
All right, perfect. I love it.
Great.
That's my producer. That would be
Yeah.
awesome. I would love to. Is she? Well, we couldn't have the thing is we couldn't have like a on site in a bar. I don't think she can't get into a bar. She's not even old enough to get into a bar.
How's our bed? We'll fly her out.
That'd be good. We'll put her here in Wade Beyond the Courtroom. We can ask her how she did it.
Put her up at the Super 8 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, great. Well, it was really awesome to have you in studio. What do you think of our brand new studio in here,
I
Todd?
like it.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it a lot. Absolutely.
So, would you be the official family correspondent of Wade Beyond the Courtroom, or do I have to go ask our father to do that?
I can do that.
All right. Well,
I
it's
can do
official.
that.
Mike, put it
I'll
in
be
the
that.
put it in the logbook. Todd Wendelin Skalsky.
both can do
It's his middle name, by the way, is Wendelin. It's my grandfather's name, an excellent, strong name. Is the family correspondent for Wade Beyond the Courtroom.
There
So
you
thank
go.
you so much for coming in today, Todd. What a fun time.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you've been listening to your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. I am attorney Wade Skalsky, and this has been Wade Beyond the Courtroom.